Dear friends, hello everyone, I'm again with you, Artyom's Bunny, and in today's video we will have a review of Reign of Nether. In this fashion, we have a strategy where we can play with our friends and play for some specific races. There are 3 races in total. This is a hellish, also hostile and peaceful race, and accordingly your task is to build a city and protect it from expensive opponents, or on the contrary, to attack your opponents in order to destroy their city and win in this game. This is generally a mod following the example of our hammer. Who played this game I think understands. And in general, a very interesting mod. In today's video, we will consider all of this. I will completely show you all the functions that are in this fashion. And the video turned out to be long, so immediately like it, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell if you did not. Well, we go to our review of Reign of Nether fashion. Let's go. So, dear friends, let's move on to a complete and detailed review of Reign of Nether, this fashion. That is, I remind you again that the strategy. And we have 3 races. This is hellish. The race is hostile and also peaceful. Accordingly, we have already distributed roles. Mastay will be in the peaceful race. I will be hostile. And we will also have Vigdi in the hellish race. So let's go. We agreed that we would take the initial resources. In our case, it will be 3 glasses of food. Also 3 glasses of iron ore, and 3 glasses of logs. Why will we use this? I will show you this now on the example of the game. Well, my location will be located, that is, the territory will be located in this corner. But there will be there. It turns out that my opponents, which we will then kill, and on which, respectively, we will attack. So, at the expense of 3, I think, we can start. Press F12, we have such a menu. We choose which time we will play. Again, we can join. For residents, for monsters and the same. Well, I accordingly join the monsters because I'm hostile. So let's choose our territory. Well, in my case, it will be somewhere here. Plus or minus. And now we have been sleeping, which means that mobs, thanks to which we will develop and build different locations, and accordingly, then we will attack our opponents. From the very beginning, we can see what resources we need at the top left. We have only 3 mobs. That is 3 inhabitants of our city. And we must give them here, which means that I am going wood and ore. Accordingly, in order to get, for example, a tree we simply press on our first resident and lead it, for example. Here is here to this tree. Press the left mouse button by our resident. In the village in our case, these are monsters. With the right button, we are already joking on a tree. And they get a tree in this way. To accelerate this process, you, of course, can take resources in creative and give them. But since we have a review of this fashion today, I'll demonstrate it all now. That is, here we have the resident is free. He does not do anything. Let us transfer it here to get us ore. And how I already showed you at the beginning of this video that we have initial resources. This is where the players are being built, as you can notice. Let us give them iron. Well, that is not ore, but just take and give them iron so that they, well, get, respectively, to themselves resources. In this way, we just throw Then we also drop a tree. And also skip, for example. Here's wheat. Of course, I'm doing it now. If you play honest in this mode, you can't do this with friends, for example. We have a zombie resident, let us let it down to this here. Iron? But he does not take it. Why doesn't he take it? And because we don't have, there is no city at all. Let's start with the mausoleum. Put here the mausoleum here. For example. That is, we have the tombs of the dead. In general, in short, here we are now building buildings that we will need to make other buildings. And now it is building, it turns out, 1 resident. Let's give us this resident. So, this is this resident to be built here. We will transfer this resident here. And this resident who is now mining the trees, we will also translate. It turns out to this. You see that we have an ore. We also spend a tree and eat food, respectively, because now our residents are working. And it turns out, build buildings for our city. Then we can build other buildings there, for example, a warehouse and so on. And as soon as we are already well developed, our city will already be filled their buildings. It will have many mobs. We will then be able to attack our opponents. Now we have built the first building, and we can build the following building. In my case, here is a warehouse of spruce boards. Let us place it here. And now we will be able to extract other resources and put them in a warehouse. That is, to store these resources and then, accordingly, build some other buildings, for example. And there, to spam different mobs, thanks to which we can attack our other opponents. Here, players develop very strongly, as you can notice. Well, a campaign, this is a way we have a musty. Or is it with us Vigdi? I don't know. Let's see. Meanwhile, so far we have one resident, as you can notice, builds us a warehouse. If you see that you have free residents, you can redirect them, for example, to help other residents. Well, here we have iron here. Let's translate this resident so that he will pick up this iron now and took it respectively to the warehouse. And in this way, it works. So he picked up the resources. The maximum, he picked up 130 iron ore. He cannot take her anymore. And in this way, we redirect him and here. It turns out that these resources are stored on our warehouse. Accordingly, if you play yourself without cheats, with friends there, without using cheats there and creative, then you are leading a resident, it turns out, to the ore. He mines it, and so on. But we decided to simplify this survival, so that, accordingly, this video does not last more than an hour because our task is to demonstrate as it works in practice. Let's take the boards again, for example, an oak log. I will throw iron here. Well, that is, we will have a ore, thanks to which we can then develop further. Here is iron here. And also here, for example, to throw wheat. I will specifically now throw all these resources closer to the warehouse, so that, well, for a long time, not to carry these residents. We click on F2I, and we can again go to this interface. And then it turns out to do everything in this way. Well, you see, they put resources in this way. I click on the right mouse button. Now we can take other free residents. Here we have a free resident on the right. In our case, there are 3 of them. We can transfer them, for example. And in his way, well, it turns out, put resources in our warehouse. Again, I remind you that if you play honestly, then you just lead the inhabitants to a tree. You lead residents or kill there, for example. Sheep and so on, other mobs from which food falls. And so, that is, you take and survive. Meanwhile, let's go in this way to throw our inhabitants in this way. And let's see what more buildings we can do. House with ghosts. This will be a terrible house that will increase the maximum population. That is, we can, for example, build it somewhere here. The location of your buildings also affects, respectively. If you build them away from each other, it will be better. Well, that is, this, well, is a strategy. So you need to protect the village from your opponents who may attack you. In the meantime, we are developing our population. In total, we now have 3 out of 10. That is, only 10 we can have here. Let's say, the inhabitants of this village. Well, as soon as I build this house with ghosts now, we will add 10 places of additional places. For example, we can already overshadow 20 residents of the village here. Yes, of course, we will have other mobs, which also affect this town. Also, let's put a pumpkin farm. Pumpkin farm for food, of course. In this way, our residents will now build this farm. We can redirect them like this. That is, click on the left mouse button on a free resident and lead him there where necessary. Just on the second point, we just press the right mouse button. Now we are building 2 inhabitants, and the more residents these buildings are being built, the faster it turns out to be built. Well, I think this is logical. Then we have a dark guardian tower. This is our ominous tower, in which you can place units of these residents, that is, not residents, but mobs that will protect your city. And, accordingly, for example, I'll build here now. Well, I'll place this guard tower here. Here we have 1 resident. We can see which residents are free. Here we have another resident. We will place it here, so that he helps to build this tower. Here we will have, for example, skeletons that will shoot our village. That is, to protect our village from other mobs that will attack us. We have a cemetery. Thanks to the cemetery, we will be able to spell a large number of different ones mobs that will protect our village again. Let us do this now. But since we now, you see, are only 3 inhabitants, so they work for a long time. We have everything, by the way. Residents are busy. Here is the first to build. The second is building. But the third is getting food. Okay, we don't need food. We have enough food. So we lead him to the aid of these 2 inhabitants, so that he, accordingly, helps us. Meanwhile, we have, so you see, 3 inhabitants are building this tower here. As soon as they complete it, we can build something else. Well, also let's get involved in the cemetery. But since now we are busy with all 3 inhabitants, we will not yet be able to build the cemetery. Well, that's all. We have been freed with us. Now we are building a cemetery. To build a cemetery, we need 150. That is, again, you crazy some resident to pray a tree. And, accordingly, 1 resident can build us, and the other, a resident, can get you food for your population. This city, that is, in order to develop this city, I think I understand. Well, and also, for example, we will have some kind of free resident. We can simply take him to pray. That is, there is a button. Just click on the English letter. And take some resident. For example, this is this resident. We choose that he attaches there, for example, this sheep. And this is how it works now. But I just come to the residence. Here, we have a resident to attack. For example, this sheep is running here. The second resident also runs with us. And now they will attack this sheep. Here we also see the number of CP pipe. And accordingly, as soon as he kills the sheep, we will get more food for our population. When we are in the cemetery, we can sprinkle other mobs. That is, for example, we can sprinkle zombies. We added one resident of the village. And it is also spent, it turns out, 75 pieces of food. In our case, this is wheat. He will subside for 10 seconds. Here we have a zombie that will now protect our village. For example, we can rearrange it here or choose all our military units and accordingly place at one point or there, for example, on some other opponents. Well, until we do this, because while we are developing, I do not want someone to kill me there, either Musty or Vigde. Well, this way we can spell other mobs there or do something else. For example, a ghost house stores us, it turns out, in our cells resources. That is, a warehouse is from Furborg. It can store 74, as I understand it, an object. Let's click on QA. We improve this. We are now improving the warehouse. Yes, we can improve, of course, this warehouse just by clicking on the letter Q. And now it works for us now. Further, let us choose some resident of one who is free with us. Well, here, an inactive worker. Click here. Here we have inactive. That is, an inactive worker. And we can see what we can do next. For example, we can build a dungeon. This is our floating cell that will contain forces to create creepers. That is, let's place us somewhere here. That is, to this building we can, it turns out, to spell the creepers in our city. Well, we have another inactive resident. Just let us direct it so that he helps another resident to build. Accordingly, well, this building, this is a dungeon. For the construction of a dungeon, we need 150 wood and also 75 ores. Well, in our case, this is iron, and accordingly, here he is building. Well, they are building together. We can also spawn even more of some mobs. Well, that is now, when we get this little thing, we can now put it on, we can now sleep here, you see. We can spawn in this way, and he will spawn with us. We move on, now we choose again residents. We will continue to develop our village. We can make spiders Sias. Accordingly, the syllables of spiders, I think you understand. We will sleep with our spiders. We will place, for example, somewhere here. That is, we click on the den of spiders and the left button mouse is being built in our country. See how quickly our resident is this building here. Also here, you can see there, sliding pit and so on, laboratory. By the way, we need a laboratory, because as soon as we build a laboratory, we can work out more. To make that is, to create different mobs from the cemetery. The video here is a drown. However, here's a wanderer. They are all invalid with us. That is, we cannot sleep, because we don't have exactly, well, that is, a laboratory. As soon as we build a laboratory, we can, it turns out, already spell all the mobs. Let us transfer this inactive inhabitant here, and we will bring this resident of the inactive here too, because they all have already gone to chop the tree, although we do not need a tree. We now need to engage in the expansion of our, let's say, territory. Well, that is our entire population that we have here. Great. Here we have one resident builds, it turns out, a laboratory. Even two residents build spiders with us. Just wait. We have another resident disappeared somewhere, Probably went to the tree to get, or I don't even know. So, let's see at all how we are here. What opponents that is here, we also have opponents, you see. They build different buildings here. Let's see what Mustai is doing. Now, look, by the way. See what Mustai creates. How many inhabitants he has here. See how much food is produced. In short, guys, here I think you already see who the winner is here. But so far, it is to say who is the winner here, because maybe I will win. Let us put a skeleton of the skeleton in this way and see what we have here in a spider's den. Let's put a spider asleep, respectively, in the den of spiders. Probably. We will make more farms because, well, still, food is needed for our residents in the village. We will do this now. That is, by default, we agreed that we will be like it all. Play. Yeah, that is, we will have initial resources again, so that it is all faster. That is, the initial resources are 3 glasses of ore, 3 glasses of wood, and also 3 glasses of food. The food naturally ends, so I think it will be right now to make one more, for example. A food farm like this. We still have an inactive resident. Another farm species. Oh, let them build in the meantime. Well, For now, we will be engaged in the expansion of our city. Let's have a laboratory. Ah, there is a laboratory. So I do not think that we need mooks. I would like to spam this mob, but I won't say what, because the players will still listen to me who are playing here now. And let's, in short, still, I think, so, a bridge of spruce boards. We, in fact, do not need it, because it is needed to cross water barriers. We have no water barriers here. So, in short, I think, after all, now we need to, so that these are all these mobs. Here we have some. Let this mob with us. Wait! But can a zombie even essentially get a tree? This is what I did not check. Let's see at all whether the zombie can get us a tree to our village. No, he cannot, unfortunately, can get a tree. So let one resident get a tree from us. Let the other engage in us, it turns out, the development of our farm. That is, here. And let us help us to build different buildings. Accordingly, we can also do a carpet-piction, that is, to fix them. That is, tools or even improve the tool. But for example, we have a zombie. Let's place mine here and indicate that it holds this position. The building 4, for example. Here we have skeletons. Let's transfer them here and now take the building. Let them go here. These are the skeletons. Everything, you see. We have a skeleton on this tower. Everything super. So, and something he seems to be extracting a tree for a very long time. He does not seem so long-term. Well done. This tree mines? Well, let it get it in short. But in the meantime, we will probably take another inhabitant who does not do anything here. And here I want to make this building now. You yourself see which one. I will not say which one. And to make it, we need 1,000 boards. Well, that is 1,000 wood, and also 1,000 iron. But in order to activate this building, we need a castle. Citadel or fortress. Let's see the castle. We have no castle. We don't have a castle, because we play for another citadel, or fortress. Let's do it. We put the fortress somewhere, for example. Here? Yes, friends. Let's here somewhere here we will place the fortress, in short, so that it is with us. The fortress, respectively, will have guards and fit up to 7 units. Let's, in short, here we'll place it somewhere. Well, in short, let's still place this fortress here. Meanwhile, our residents are engaged in drinking. Some of us here are well done. And we can wait for it to improve the tools to collect resources. Click twice so we are not a hike and we can't improve the data of the inhabitants. Let's see in general what he sees here, what is doing. Look, you see here, well, it is slowly developing. Yes, you see, there is Zuber. Everything. But I like the bridge more. And look how much the USPA has. What is this building? House of a peasant. He develops himself. In short, this more makes. It turns out Piglins. Well, that is so that he has these inhabitants. In short, we will do it too. A little bit. I will steal the idea of Mastia. Here we have a free resident. Where is he going? What will he do now? He brought us food. Oh, well done. Thanks for the food. See how obedient a resident is. Only I cannot find another resident. Is he busy with something? Yes, we have one resident. Let's, in short, let him engage in building, because he is building something for a long time. For example, here is one inhabitant who is doing here with something here too. Quickly, now we'll send him here and let's see now what will happen to us. So well, for now, it seems to me. Stop, we have here. Yes, we have not been attacking here yet. I hope they will not attack me because there are still a lot of things I wanted to tell you and show you. And if they immediately attack me, it will be capaz. Well, let me demonstrate to you yet what functions are, what buildings are. That is the bridge, in fact, is not very useful, something like laboratory. I have already explained to you that, thanks to the laboratory, we can make others. Other mobs. Well, and so on. Let's, in short, sleepy. Probably someone else. Wait, you need an improvement in the laboratory. Let's improve the laboratory now. Laboratory. Although it seems to be improved for me or not. Let's do shorter adapts. I understand. And I have everything. Let's probably now for a space. Our Master installed a lighthouse. In short, in order to win, to defeat Master, for example, we need to break either its lighthouse or all its buildings. But you see the building yourself. He has a lot. And here is the lighthouse that we need to destroy. But for now, again, I do not want to attack Master. Let's see what is happening here. Vigdy seems to be, well, so normal. I don't want to attack Vigdy. I still want to get out of the way. Play honestly. You yourself see what I do not read. That is, we had the initial set that we have already used. Well, let's sleep here as a mob. Let's see how he will bury him now. 2% with us. Well, that is to spat this mob for a long time. We will wait until he bursts at all. And let's, in short, while we have one resident. And where is the second for the inhabitants? Wait with us. Where are all the inhabitants? Well, we have, in short, in the positions of mob. This is good. Only I cannot find the inhabitants. Ah. Here is the first resident. The second resident is building. And where are the third resident with us? Wait for the third resident doing? The tree mines? Or well, what? I don't see him yet. Okay, let them build. And what about the fortress here? And by the way, the fortress is 95% finished. But it seems to be 97. Yes, a little more. And the construction of this fortress will be completely completed. 100%? Excellent. Finally. We have a fortress. Now, well, let's, by the way, do you know what else we will do? So far, we have 2 residents of these are free. Give a house with ghosts a drunken one. Put it here. So a house with residents. A house with residents. Here. Great. Let us build a house with residents. That is, this will increase the number of residents again. Now we see they are engaged in places, respectively. That is, now we have 10 out of 20. Well, in short, over time, more and more residents will be added to us. That is, we will be able to sprinkle mobs, and various mobs because some mobs take 5 positions there, some 10, and so on. Well, in short, let us build this building so far. In the meantime, we will move on to this. It turns out, our food is over. Well, let's, in short, one mob, for example, translate and not a mob, or rather a resident who is inactive here on the beds here. Let them get food. Only, I can't understand, but can I, for example, draw some other mobs? That is, for example, the skeleton, so that they are now engaged in eating. I can't do that. Masai improved his lighthouse. Yeah, look, estimate the Masti here already improves the lighthouses here. But I am not doing this yet. It is strange why I do not do this. Here we have this mob, in short, let it go here. This one here. This one here. And let's still see what mobs we have here. Wait. We needed another peasant. The peasant here is free with us. Let, in short, go here and gets further to us. We look a little what Vigdi has here. Well, by the way, Vigdi has more or less, by the way. See, the buildings are here. Everything is fine. Well, more or less. Let's see who we can still sleep. So then, here we have things to do with us. Clear, but for now we need to do food, you see. Well, I have very little food. So I'll wait for now. We also have a circle, by the way. I want to remind you that you cannot go out for this circle. That is, well, the territory, of course, is limited. I go beyond the circle. We have a day I go back. Here we have night. Well, in short, such an interesting mod. For example, play with friends. And I think it is very cool. And very cool. So, the house with ghosts, meanwhile. Here are 2 ghost houses. In the meantime, residents are still working, collecting food. Here. Well, let them do it while they are doing this. Because our food is really not enough. We can also increase the number of residents themselves, that is. Here we go to the capital, this is our capital, and we are in this way just span more than the inhabitants who will work. For some reason I did not do this before. Well, that is, it was necessary to start with the more to make these residents more. That is, here we are breed so far, let us have more of them. Naturally, in order to impake in these residents, you yourself see that food is spent. Boards are also spent. Let us put it on the farms to put him so that he is here. He was engaged exactly, that is, well, the prey of food. Because our food is not enough for us. And what about the inhabitants here? Well, that's probably another. Yes, a resident with a sleepy. That is 50 units of food. In short, let him spawn. Meanwhile, let's see what is happening here with Vigdi. We will spill it out. Well, that is, he's developing, and let's get back to our territory. Meanwhile, this is how things are like that. Well, that is, we also have a little buildings. Because now I want to do more to protect this particular city. So, here we have 1 resident. He does nothing. This one is also worth it. Does nothing. And we have already ended with the food, I understand. Let's get a pumpkin farm, that is. We'll make a farm even more. Here we are here. Here is another farm here. Great. So, this one gets food from us. Let this one go here. Also gets food. Everything. The inhabitants of our food are busy. Well, let's probably another runner with a sleepy. Even more sleepy so that we have more hard workers. Let this, for example, go to extract a tree, and we have 1 more should sleep now. So we have enough farms? Yes, we have enough farms. Let's probably, well, yes, food. In short, enough. Here we have 1 resident already carrying food. Brought food. And in the meantime, we still do not have enough food after all. We need even more. In short, let it. These residents, you see, stand. Wait until we have food. Let 1 resident also go to a tree. Let the tree we have enough ores. But we are not very enough for us. What do we have here? Let us be a sleepy mob. Again, I will not say who, so as not to eavesdrop on the players here. We will not spotty this. Let's move here. I want to sleep. Probably a little later. And let's go to the laboratory. Here, the laboratory is the most mobs that we can sleep. Well, by the way, and these mobs are quite good. That is, really good mobs. Let me be sleepy. Let it have a spally with us. That is, you see, we have time. Great. And also, probably, let's go now. Well, let's still, in short, put on one resident here. That's the way the runner. And let's see how many free residents we have. We have no free residents yet. Let this resident get drunk. And we, in short, will put him to go to the farm. Get more food. Here I have a big problem with food now. For some reason, I just did not spin the zombies' livers before. Accordingly, here you see for yourself. This is the trouble. Let's go into it. So, where is he with us? Here we have this resident. Well, accordingly, Pumpkin Farm. Here we put him here. Great. It is also necessary to build one house with ghosts. He will give us more, plus 10 new inhabitants who can be in the city. These here are mine. Well, one more. Another. Probably. Zombie livinger of a sleepy still. Well, with food you yourself see big problems now. Well, let them, in short, someone getting food. Then they bring to our warehouse, which is here. Well, by the way, the warehouse I think, can be transferred. Well, for example, put it here. Well, while this resident is spangled for us. Excellent. I was sleeping. And let's make a warehouse from power boards here to put another. And let this resident with this warehouse already engage in this warehouse. Great. Let him go here. These inhabitants are with us. One resident is going to give food. Let's see in general. So this resident also goes somewhere. He just got a tree for us. Thanks for the tree, of course, Well, in short, all the inhabitants seem to be busy with us, you see. Yes, we have a defense, mobs, which you ourselves see how many mobs we ourselves, that is not very much, of course, there are a lot of them. But I think enough. But let's give them all. No, let them stand now. We will not touch them yet. The level of the lighthouse. In short, we have a mastai that controls the lighthouse as itself. This is not very good, in fact. Let's see that we have residents. Here we have another resident, just free. Let's put it here so that he is now engaged, it turns out. A farm. And this is here so that he would make us a warehouse. Because something is somehow strange with us. In all workers, we have 9, as you can notice. Well, you see who is doing what. We have 3 workers on wood. We have 4 workers on food. Meanwhile, we have 0 workers on the ore. Because, well, we don't need ore. We have enough ore. Well, it is clear that in this strategy, it is necessary to control the process. The process there is the construction. The process is how the workers work there so that everyone works. So that no one stands with us just like that. Well, accordingly, to have precisely resources, so as not to spend there empty, as I did at the very beginning of this, it turns out. Survival. Here. Well, in principle, here we still have a lot of food. Let them get it. Here nothing is growing for us yet. In principle, we have another free resident who does not do anything. Let's give him to him, in short. We will take construction, for example, this. We have a catalyst for a rolling pin that, in short, a column that spreads a rock at the death of the units that are nearby. We will place, for example, here is this catalyst. Let's go here. So, let this resident, whom I just occupied, do it. Well, we have a bridge and improves the lighthouse. Well, so far we have such things. Meanwhile, you yourself see what is happening. Well, in principle, not bad. In principle, a little bit we develop. Not very fast, but in principle, normal. Let's see what's here with us. Let us put this out here. And let's see what's here. Well, here we can sleep here. Okay. Spawn. What else can anyone? This, in principle, I no longer need this. Although, in principle, he is not so expensive. Only food is spent. No. We miss what? We lack the limit of the population. Everything, I understood. We need to develop the population. That's in short. Now we will do this. Here we have a resident of some kind of freeze somewhere here. And, probably now. Here we have. One resident gets a tree. In short, let's put it here to him. Here, a house with ghosts, in short. I will do one more. Here. Let it go. The mob, meanwhile, is developing. Here we have catalyst slide. Yes. I said enough. Nobody builds us a catalyst slide because we do not have free residents. Let this resident go here. This resident is almost without work. He will just go here to build this catalyst slide. Great. Let him go here. In principle, we are now busy with work. It's getting well now. The food has already gone. The tree is well mined. Look, leave the votes. We have a campaign here. What is it with us? Overfeed. Look what is happening, guys. I don't like it. The fact that Masai is getting closer and closer to me. Well, let's see what is happening on his territory. Wow. Look how many mobs he has. It's just Capets. I actually do not know how to fight against such a player, in fact. But it's just Capets. In short, let's something else. Well, let's in short we will deal with this. We still need to improve the laboratory, right? But no. In the laboratory we can... Yeah, let's in short do it like that probably. We, in principle, have enough food. What else can we? Let's do it like this. But... no. We lack the population. Again, there is not enough population. Because this resident has left with us. In short, let this resident go here. This resident will go here. This resident will go here with us. But this resident will go to build this building here, right? Great. This resident will go to us, for example, to get food. All super everything is busy with us again. These very residents. And in short, I know what I want to do. I think you understand what I want to do. But it seems to me that it will not be much right. Because with me, well, you yourself see a little bad everything goes on. In short, let's go here. What else do we have? Well, let's hear in short. Probably, well, in principle, I think everything. Let's highlight all our military, see how many of them we have. It seems to be enough. Well, here we still have a house. Unfortunately, it is being built for a very long time. Well, let's wait for now. So far, this resident with our ghosts is completed. Well, that is, I think you understand the meaning of this game in general. What we need to do. That is, I didn't play strategy before, and this is my second game with this mod. Therefore, I think I am excusable that I don't play very well. Great! Our house with Providence has built. That's, in short, one inhabitant, slightly tense. We will, in short, what we will do. In short, let's probably have a dungeon, a cemetery. Let's place the guard tower here. Here we place a guard tower here. And, in short, let this resident do this. And now we have a resident who is engaged in wood. In short, we will transfer him here too. That go here. Now, I also want to overshadow our skeleton. The skeleton is sleepy. Great. Let it be subsided. What is happening here? Here, in the meantime, this mob will subside here. Again, I will not call him. So, drown. What are we drown? To turn all your zombies into drowned people who will take units, residents, and Piggle after their murder. By the way, it seems cool, but I do not have enough food, unfortunately. Here is such a big trouble for me now with food. Well, in short, I think now everything will be more or less with us. But look, here we have closer and closer to us the bridge. And I don't like it. I don't like it very much. And what is happening here? Let's come on, probably. Oh, look, we have the kidneys. Super. Oh, guys, everything is very bad with us now with food and a tree. Well, in short, let these inhabitants forget the tree. Here we have a dark tower. Where are we now placing skeletons now? Let this skeleton remove the building. This is the building occupies. Let go here. Super. Completed. And, in short, while here we have such things. Not very good, as you can notice, because it seems to me that they can attack us now. Let's, in short, even a little spider is a little sleepy. And probably like this, we'll move them a little. I think there will be nothing wrong with this. Oops. In the meantime, let's highlight all our mobs. I allocated all the mobs. They are not, in fact. There is a better situation. So far, so here. Let the tree are mined here. Let the tree also get this one. What do we have here? This one is busy with us. Okay. Here, in short, the cadre is drunken. Here is a drunken one more criper. This is what we have. Sheriff's factory kills the nearest ally. Spreads a skull. I understand, so let's wait. But I can like this, for example. Let's make a sacrifice. Oh, what have I done? I had something explode. What did I do? Some kind of Capets. Okay, it's okay. So, it's good. What next? Else do we have? Let's put off. In short, it seems to me that these mobs are enough for us. This is with us. Let's sleepy another mob. Here we have a slime. We have a cadaver here. Let's get one more. And we'll do one more. It turns out one more laboratory. Because it seems to me that one laboratory does not have enough. There is a free resident. Laboratory. Here. And place it somewhere plus or minus here. Super. Let's. In short, we have a farm. We have only one resident. Let it go here. Another inhabitant, like all residents, are engaged in work. He will be here. And will be. Or Spavi, probably. We still need to build, in short, this very one more building, because we do not have enough. That is, there is another place in our village. The house with the inhabitants must be built another one, in short. Now, probably, we'll do this. Only I do not know which resident to free. But let's free this resident. And the house with ghosts, we will have one more, for example. Here, see how Mastai is spreading to us. I don't like it at all. And it seems to me, well, okay. Again, I will not speak, because they eavesdrop on. Eavesdrop. Therefore, let's so far. We will develop independently, so okay dungeon, we are destroyed. Let's get a little dungeon. We will restore it a little to restore the dungeon. I don't know how to do it. Then here we have a construction theorem. Everything is fine. And in principle, you can, of course, try. But it was not. They drove, in short. They drove it. I was not. Let's try. Let's see what comes out of this. Let them attack. Just look purely. In general, is it possible or not? Well, look. The server is slightly pacing us. Because there are too many mobs, I understand. Oh, here we are already going on, hike. Ghast. Yes, Ghast is coming. Well, but in short, they are trembling here, meanwhile. I think they are now quickly. Are all these mobs? Come on, let's go here. If it will be possible to attack somehow. We can win Masai in 20 minutes, because he took the lighthouse here. All our mobs let go here. Damn, my loud sounds are very loud now. Let us make them quieter. Though this is not here. Here, it is like 1%. And in short, our mobs are now trying to attack this. And, Vigdi, I do not know what will turn out from this, in fact. I don't know at all. Let them go here and kill. In short, somehow, let them kill first. I have a minus warden hike, and the minus is the skeleton. And minus... in short, everything is capets. Everything is very bad for me with these mobs. But you see, it was still not possible to attack. It was not possible to attack. In short, this inactive resident here Let's quickly get the development. My warden died. A bad attack was, as you see, a very bad attack. Well, Vigdi took it out. We now have no one. No one is left. So, in short, I can play strategies. Well, in short, the most important thing is that I showed you at all how this mod works. But let's try to recoup somehow. I don't know. It is unlikely that it will work out. Vixie can already attack me. It can attack a calmly Mastai. And Mastai had already gone to attack me. Well, good. Objectively, I play a strategy for the second time. I am excusable, Maybe I had some movers not very correct. You can condemn me in the comments. I perfectly understand everything. But for now, everything is going on like this. At home, they collapse. There is nothing to protect and have nothing to protect. Because all my mobs died in the video. Yes, after all, the attack was in vain. But although, look, he didn't have so many HP left for mobs. Look here. Or wait, or... No, well, yes, I have mobs. Well, in short, everything is not very good. Well, in the meantime, my everyone is crumbling, it turns out. Buildings. So, where here I have... In short, I don't even know. I will not take it out here. In general, no matter how hard I try, unfortunately... I am no longer a sleepy anyone here. Let's try. Maybe to sprinkle the skeleton. Try to overshadow the Kadar spider. Well, yes, after all, this is no avail. Well, tramps, but I don't even have enough resources. Well, probably. I in vain attacked Victi. Because if I had not attacked Victi, I think, well, maybe at least somehow defended myself. And so he already has everything. No one at all. And Mastai wins. Well, by the way. Well, Masya, look. Just which village is him, I think? Well, a professional, of course, is No, look, he has a lighthouse. That is, if nothing had happened within 20 minutes, then Mastai would have won. Because he has a pumped beacon. See how many trees he has. Not trees, more precisely, but buildings. Thanks to this, he has a lot of the population. And more than that is, the mobs of which he can develop in his city. And in the meantime, on the end of the end, by the way, we can go out with 12. Met that it looks like that it looks so, you yourself see. Oh god. Everything just all ruined. Well, just let's sound the sounds again by 2% because it is too loud. Hey, that's it. Everything was in vain. Okay. Well, here we still have Vigdi and Mastai. But I don't know. Here, it seems to me, it is... Who will win? Fact, let's go to the Mastai. Well, Mastia has such a situation with trees. Such a situation, it turns out, with buildings. But I can't recoup in any way, I think you understand. Because I have everything, a couple of buildings left, which are collapsing. But, in truth, I, by the way, have a lot of the most initial... That is, these are the initial cutters. By the way, I have that. I have 2 more inactive inhabitants who just cost to look at it, all that is happening. Well, let's build a mausoleum. Maybe the mausoleum, at least somehow this one will help me. Let us, in short, will put it. Well, of course, nothing will help me here at all. Must I began to attack Vigdi or what? Or does it seem to me? Yes. The campaign began to attack Vigdi. Left me alone or what? Although no. Wait. I have some more mobs here. Well, let's try to attack this, in short. On this, Must I decided to immediately attack Vigdi and on me. Well, in short, let's see now. Our resident is being built. It works. Let this also help him build something here. Let's see what Vigdi has in general, how things are. Well, he, as you see, is killed. He also does not have a very good situation. By the way, he has these ghasts are very good. See how they are well repulsed. At all. That is, they even, I would say, a little cheating, because they fly in the air. He still stands. Yes, Canes, look. Yo, mine. Everything. The territory is already disappearing slowly from this. Capets. Well, of course. My units are already destroyed, My units, the campaign, are really destroyed. There is no Although no, wait. I have two remains. And who is not clear? Look, 2 inhabitants are still trying. Well, in the meantime... This one. Who is it with us? In short, this mob explodes everything, breaks everything, ruins everything at once. Everything he sees. Well, in short, and a game with this mod occurs. Well, I think if you play strategy, I think you have any tactics. I think you can have a cool one with friends. By the way, we have go nuts. Even somehow unusual. No, not still, today. We have night, because I just went to this territory. But here's a day. It works. Oh, yeah, by the way, almost This died. Is so between words. Well, everything minus 1 gas. Vixie has 2 gas, as I understand it. Minus another gas. The last gas remains. As I understand it, to kill ghast, or to kill these here. Well, that is mobs that fly, well, there. The mobs with bows, with crossbows, and so on are attacking. Well, that's it. The campaign will now be the minus of Vigdi with the catfish. Here, the bastion of Vigdi also collapses. By the way, look how because he is all Maste and Ramages. Here he is, Nipad, knows how to play. Just look at how he immediately redirected all his mobs here. Immediately attacks Vigzi when he destroyed me. Mastayev still controls the lighthouse. Mastayev will win in 15 minutes. Well, it seems to me that he will win faster, because he will now destroy all the buildings of Vigdi and all my buildings. Well, accordingly, yes. In order to win, it is necessary to destroy the buildings of all your enemies. That is, in my case, I still have such buildings. But only to Queen and Farm, a ghost house, a laboratory, a fortress, and mausoleum. And he can quickly do it. Because now the whole attack by the bridge is directed precisely at Vigza. Well, you yourself see what this is for the building. This is our fortress. But the fortress is completely, look at how quickly it collapses. Well, unfortunately, I can't do anything. Here, I had a mausoleum. I can only call the zombie to send one here to go to the farm to work. Well, here we have a witch. Ointment? Well, there is nothing, unfortunately, to do nothing. But this too, let not suffer from a garbage. Let him also go to get food. Well, that is, I can't even do anything, in fact, to do. Here, I can. But, right? No, I can't. Because I do not have enough boards. In general, everything is bad. In the meantime, we are still attacking. Still attacking. Well, he has something left. The Sanctuary of Fire? I don't know. The Sanctuary of Fire. It somehow can generally affect the course of events. On the course of the game. So, this is an iron golem. Well, yes, he has... Oh, everything. Look, all the mobs are now going to me to finish me off. As I understand it. How much does I have 5 here? Buildings. That is, the farm works House more. With ghosts. Laboratory. Fortress, by the way. I still have good. And mausoleum. Capital. Well, look. See how many inhabitants he has. Just look. Piteous. Evolve last. Well, in short, it seems to me that everything is already here, Capits. Well, although, as I understand it, Massey still leaves us a chance to recruit. They are all in one place. Yes, look. Everything is already. This one went already to ruin. Well, everything. Minus my resident. Unfortunately. Well, yes. That's it. This is the minus. It is clear that my buildings are already slowly exploding. And here, for now, well, the iron golem at the bridge is destroyed. It turns out. This is the central portal. I don't know if there is a sense. Meanwhile, why did Mustai interesting gathered all his mobs in one place? Why doesn't he attack me right away, for example? I still have no one left here. Or gives a chance, or what? I do not know. His mobs are just standing. They look after all this. Your units. Well, yes, my units have died. Unfortunately, I can't do anything else. Here, he still has a civilian portal zone for the Hoglands. But in general, in fact, the mod is interesting. I will leave a link in the description on You can go and also download it so that here we have a mausoleum. The fortress collapses, by the way. It is still normal. The laboratory is destroyed by us here, a zombie villa, and this is this mob. Everything, my pumpkin farm with pumpkin seeds slowly also disappears. Unfortunately. 10 out of 52. 8 out of 52. And all. Minus is my farm. Well, understandable. I have no more food. Also here, my zombie will die now. The last that remains. Let's redirect him here now. Let this one be running. So that's all. That's all. Let's see what's here with Vigdi. Vigdi 2 is very bad here. The military portal breaks, the civilian portal also breaks, and its entire territory disappears. Let's see what we have for alert. And the notification shows us that we have no more left. Residents. Everything is completely collapsed. Fortress Mausoleum. Well, let's okay. I can still overtake the last resident. And I can even sprinkle one more. Why? 2 inhabitants. Well, I miss a tree. Yes. My tree is generally 0. In general, I don't have any tree anymore. These mobs are ruining the laboratory. The fortress remains still. The mausoleum remains. Everything, it turns out. Did we lose Vigzi? Or with him? Ah, no. He still remains. Look, the lamp of fire. But the luminate of fire. The campaign. He also will now have a minus. Let's wait, see. 53 units. Yeah. Doesn't want to attack the rest. No. Finishes. What about resources? And with me, with creatures and resources, everything is bad because minus is my laboratory. The fortress remains. And also mausoleum. But the mausoleum is now quickly achieved. Combini, by the way, got out of this mausoleum. But the campaign, they would be killed faster It was possible not to spell them. Well, the Motiper directed all his, so to speak, troops to break my fortress and also on the mausoleum. Let's see how it will happen. By the way, here there is a chat. You can chat with your opponents in this chat. We also have a lighthouse level here, that is, shows the level of the lighthouse of your enemy. He has the 5th of 5 levels of this lighthouse. In fact, how many 10 minutes are all the goals 5 minutes before the bridge and win? Well, in principle, such a thing is not very good for us. Meanwhile, the situation is developing. What is we have for Vigdi? Vigdio has a lamp of fire, 51 HP and 130. One idle, so we have 2 players. Well, let's look at the fortress. We have all the minus fortress and the mausoleum also disappears. By the way, if you want to open a large card, you can click on the risky letter M and you can look at the card itself. Everything, I was defeated. I have no one else left. That is, I played for hostile mobs and unfortunately you see, and still, as I understand it, remained Vigdi. Yes, here Vigdi had 1 building left. Well, in short, let's see if Must-I Vigdi will break or not. I lost in short. Well, what could you play a second time again? I do not want to make excuses, but in the strategy I did not play at all. Before I just play Minecraft for the second time. Unprofitable, by the way. You can look at Vigdi resources. Here, Vigdi, in short, is 0 workers. Nobody in general, it turns out, has food, wood, ore, and that's all. He has 0. And 150. He had 150 people. I had only 50. He has 150. Go nuts. Well, in short, these are the things. Let us leave now from this mode. F12. We go out. Let's see in general how everything looks like with him. That is, well now we have such a territory. Here we have a bridge fly. But it, by the way, is a village. So she looks. There was a farm, a lighthouse. In short, I hope you liked this video. It turned out very long, so for this, I think you can like it. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell if you did not. I leave a link to the mod in the description. If you still have any additional questions about this fashion, write in comments. I will try to answer all comments. I was with you, TheDeinekoArtem. Must I Vida. Thanks to everyone for watching. Good luck, all for now.